Welcome to The Power and the Pain, where your past isn't your prison.
It's the fuel for your purpose.
I'm Greg Pihs, combat veteran, NLP trainer, and your guide to turn trauma into triumph. This is The Power and the Pain. Let's go. And today I brought on a special guest, Pat Honiotes.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Perfect.
I connected with Pat. So uniquely enough, I connected with Pat through Trent Denson and Spread the Positive because Pat has a podcast through the same platform. Now, I know it's Business Inside Out. Now, how do we apply the word badass? Forgive me.
The name of the podcast is Business Bada Revolution.
Business Badass Revolution.
That's
so make sure you check that out.
And then Biz from the Inside Out is the work that I do.
And let's dive right in there. You guys are in for a treat today. So Pat, I got to be a guest on Pat's podcast, and Pat is going to be a very similar vibe. My audience, we do very absurdly parallel work, and then both of us speak through our own lens, our own words, our own experiences, our own lived experiences. But we do the same work, parallel.
Exactly.
So you get a double dose today. What's up? Pat, take us in wherever you want to start. Tell us about what is doing business inside and out. How would you share what that is?
Biz from the Inside Out. Okay, that from in there is really important because most of the people that I've worked with are doing business from the outside in, and most of the time they don't even let it in. So they're doing strategies, great. They're accounting. They're doing all this kind of stuff, and not diving into themselves to see what's going to work with that.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep.
So my philosophy is unless you know your patterns, your habits, what makes you tick, you can be throwing some roadblocks in your way that is just going to kick you in the butt every single time. So if somebody's having a hard time, I go in and we find out why, and then they're back on track.
I mean, I'm even gonna like double down on a moment ago. You said like you may be throwing roadblocks in. Like my opinion, reject what's not for you, listeners. Every roadblock we meet, we threw out there because of one of those patterns.
Absolutely, and I'm going to take that a step farther. I love this.
Let's go.
I love this because, we do exactly the same thing and we're complete opposites. You're intellectual.
Yes. A lot of logic and such. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm logical, but from a different point of view.
100%.
You're going to do the research. You're going to do all that. By the way, I've been reading some of it because it backs up my work. So there you go, right?
Beautiful.
And I approach it. It's a new word. I approach it from the inside, which is, okay, what's going on up here? One of my biggest things is every single person has what I call a subconscious wound-driven belief. It's a belief that we've adopted about ourselves for survival, and we're not even aware of it.
And even we're just going to keep amping this. I told you guys you're in for a treat here today. I'm even going to double down on that again. I love this and I agree with this. And for the listeners now, this podcast, trauma's my jam. That's where my passion is, trauma and triumph. But I meet people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I had a good childhood. I didn't have no trauma." Listen. If it's holding you back from growing because we said wound-driven belief, what if we said experience-driven belief?
Yes. Okay.
I mean, it's a wound-driven. I mean, I'm with that.
But it's still, yeah.
I want to open it up for everyone else that's like, "Well, I didn't have any wounds." Let's use the word experience.
There you go.
We've taken on our experiences up until now.
Yes. And when some of them are similar enough, we get one basic one that just drives us.
100%.
It just drives us. And sometimes it's hard for people to understand what all that stuff has to do with their business. One of the questions I ask, Greg, is when you were born and when your mother was carrying you, was there any kind of a problem? And I'll get, what the hell does that have to do with my business? Well, it can if you develop some beliefs from that and it was reinforced.
Yeah.
Now, that little baby isn't sitting there making up these beliefs. It's the experience part, Greg.
100%. I mean, I love this. The modality I've recently went through or am working through your PhD modality. absurdly similar, just sharing with you on the other end, like a timeline therapy modality. And one of the questions that I asked is like, did this thing happen before, during, or after birth? And some people are like, well, what do you mean before? Or what do you mean during? Mind you, on the other side, I've had clients, I mean, more than once, you know, that like, oh, I think this was something from birth, and like process this experience that they can't even put words to, but they're talking about it. And then they like feel closure. And then like 2 months later, they're like, oh my gosh, remember when I told you I was talking to my mom and her and my father were having a conversation around this time and da-da-da, and I never knew about it. Well, not consciously.
Consciously. Every single thing that's ever happened to you, every single thing is recorded in the subconscious part of your mind. Not only that, it's recallable with the right techniques and under the right circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that can and so yeah, before birth, that little spirit in there is absorbing all kinds of things. I actually had a client, a young man, and we were doing some work, and I also I'm board certified medical hypnoanalyst. So there was times when I would use hypnosis. Well, I don't do it so much anymore, but that's beside the point. And we went back to birth, and he goes, and okay, what's going on? I got you. What's going on? She's trying to kill me. So we sat with that. We processed it. And then, of course, he came out of it, and we were talking about it. He says, that can't be. My mother would never do that. That's just wrong. She would never do that. I completely made that up. 2 days later, he calls me and said, I talked to my mom and found out that she did try to abort me, and then spoke with her higher power, and they said, no, please don't do that. And so she stopped.
Yeah.
But she was that. Now, okay, there's no way because she didn't know how he knew. So, I mean, when you start talking about that kind of stuff, it gets a little like, but it's possible.
100%. I mean, I even talk about, Xander's, my son is 10. He's coming up on 11 here soon, April. But 10
April what?
7th. Are you April?
I'm the 26th, but we're both Taurus.
Is April 7th? Yeah, yeah.
No, 21st. We don't want to waste our time with that. I just got excited.
We can get into. I don't have those dates good, but so I am at some level aware of just any sounds, mind sights, sounds that can get into Xander's ears.
Yes.
Any form of sounds, because every single one of them are programming. I say obviously. I mean, I think if anyone's been following me for a day or two, I run a business. I had someone comment. I'm excited about this.
Go.
I woke up this morning and I did a post that I thought was like well crafted a day or so ago. I think it's the one you commented on the tree, in fact. And someone commented this morning. They said, "You're looking for a little attention?" ?
Oh, I saw that.
And I said, "Yes, I am. Thank you." And obscurity is my mission's biggest problem. I am most certainly looking for some attention here. That's how I'm going to grow this mission. So with all of that being said, like Xander is like, when I do my events and stuff, he'll come help me set up, and I'll have him set up. And I thought like, oh, this is good. He's seeing, you know, and like every event he'll be like, oh, I want to put a message on the board. And his message frequently, I post them on Facebook. He does them all on his own, 1,000% on his own, even asked to do it. And it'll say like, welcome to GP Mind Growth Academy. Be positive, be kind. Make sure you like and subscribe. And then I'll put www.gpmindgrowth.com. What I was telling my wife just yesterday, I was like, you know, part of me is like, so like when he did for Cub Scouts, when he did popcorn sales, like he got first. And Xander's like, we wouldn't necessarily, we could overlook him as a salesperson. We could possibly. But so I was telling my wife, I was like, you know, I'm really excited to see that he has these early developments, like way ahead of the game. And I also said to her, I want to keep very mindful that we are aware of how much transactional conditioning he has at this age. So like, as much as I'm happy that like, oh, you have that awareness, I also want to keep some level of, all right, let's do some more imagination toy stuff too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because it's all writing program, and we to say can't, I mean, said by me, it's hard to truly quantify what 20 years of trajectory is going to be from that programming of today.
I agree. You're going to know a lot of it, okay, and you can make some education. But there's no work from their own place.
And like, if we were to, because we can, behave. I mean, what me and Pat do, essentially, again said by me, we're capable of profiling behavioral patterns.
Yes.
Okay, this is what's happening. So like, humans can profile behavioral patterns, but like, when we think, okay, if a human had this program, we can, I'm going to suggest, easily project, here's what that's going to mean. But we didn't quantify the 11 years experience that was like, if another person had the same experience Xander's having right now, their 20-year trajectory would be different because of their 10-year experience in the past. Yeah,
exactly. And they could have exactly the same experience, and it isn't.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
That's the thing too. And what I mean by that is, people will say to me, "Well, my brother and I were raised in the same home. I don't understand how he can do it," because he processed differently. He's built differently. He's wired differently.
Well, also, like, I'm not, I'm big on, I like utilizing archetypes to help create awareness.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily get too far into this. But if you had a sibling, even if you're an identical twin, someone came out first and someone came out second.
Exactly.
Someone came out third, and there's an archetype for the oldest child, the middle child, the youngest child. And like, you don't have to be put in a box, but there's a really good chance you're going to fit somewhere in that archetype too. And the experiences can't be the same just because of those archetypal structures. Archetypal.
I like it. We'll keep it.
We're keeping it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've actually gotten to a place to where we sometimes build our own archetypes.
The way I say what you just said is, we are always creating our own delusion, whether that's a positive delusion or a negative delusion.
Exactly.
I am delusional.
Exactly. So it's not, people will take some tests somewhere, and say, and this says I'm this, and this. That means I can or I can't do this thing. And that's horsepucky. Okay, so I kind of stay away from those a little bit. But yeah, and archetypes are great, and they tell us a lot. And keep an open mind and leave room for them to be wrong.
Oh.
And once something's in print, some folks think, oh, that's it. I saw it in the book. That's it. It was on whatever.
Well, I think one of the important parts, this is beautiful. Like, when I pulled up before I snuck in here, I had a thought, so I made a post. And then I'm going to, based on what we're talking about right now, I'm going to share with you. So, and I'll show this to Pat in a minute. I'll read that for you guys. But the same kind of vibe.
Oh Lord, that's beautiful.
Which is the topic. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Unfortunately, it's true. And then for all the listeners, that diagnosis are for the purpose of aftercare, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor. They're in my opinion. And sadly, they've become labels used to justify abandoning our journey. So I am a blank. I can't do that. I was told it. I'm a blank. Whenever you get information about yourself or discover information about yourself, the only truth about you is you are infinite. So like, don't worry about labels, or, in my opinion, okay, labels or diagnoses. I would look at, what is this information? And then, based on what I want, how does this apply?
And how can I use it? How can I use it? And sometimes we're stuck with one of those labels and don't even know it. And that's why I love the depth inside work. I'll share with you a personal one. From the time I was 3 years old, my stepfather called me a goddamn dummy. Okay. In 8th grade, I was told that I was too stupid to go to college. Not their words, but I wasn't smart enough to go to college, so I'd have to take typing, shorthand, accounting, and all that stuff, so I wouldn't be a burden on the world. Now I can go through all of this and give you all, but this was all evidence piling up for me that I was stupid. And so didn't matter how smart I was. We build all this evidence in our mind, and there's no way I could do anything really smart.
Yeah.
Because of the label.
Yeah.
Because of the label.
I had which we got to work together. I share a lot of similarities there for the listeners. I mean, unique, different experience, but I get to I've done a good job carrying that.
A good job what?
Carrying that limit as well. I did a good job with it.
Not anymore, dude.
Let it go. Let it go. Let's go.
Exactly.
I had a profound experience once, and I was witnessing it when I was first going through and learning NLP. It was like a lunch break, and like some of the trainers were in this room, and we needed to get some more information. So knock on the room. We're like, hey, can we ask you guys a question? It was like 2 or 3 of us students, and they're like, yeah, come on in. And like one of the students said like, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you or something like that. And the lady said, no, I wouldn't let you interrupt me. And that immediately kind of caught my attention. I was
that's
like,
great.
I was thinking, well, I didn't ever heard people talk to people like this before. So first I was like, oh, that's a little rough. No, that's a little honest. Don't give what you don't have. They already said, come in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I'm talking to one, or I'm going to talk to one, but now my RAS is kind of attuned to like, what is going on over there?
Yep. Yep.
And I heard the gentleman say, he's like, well, I believe the words he used was, he said, I'm not really smart, or it's hard for me to learn. And the lady said, when did you make that decision? And I was like, pause, what is going on over here right now?
Yeah.
Now, obviously we were learning, these are word tracks that just naturally as long as the other person participates, they have to think differently than they ever thought before. When you get asked, how long have you held that decision? I'm stupid. You have to, like, if you want to participate, you have to go to a place, and like your first knee-jerk reaction is, I didn't decide that.
Exactly.
That's your first knee-jerk reaction. And the response is then, perfect, you're not no more.
Exactly.
Well, no. But other people told me I was. Okay, when did you decide to carry what they told you? Nonetheless, these were some profound shifts and experiences along the journey. But yeah, I also shared that with you in the past.
It was fun and enlightening when I found out I wasn't stupid. I've had so much fun since then. And then the way I dealt with it, this is so cool, is I would go in willing to be stupid.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're all stupid about something. It's just the connotation of that word. But if you approach something like, okay, I don't know about this, I'm kind of stupid about it, let me find out. Before, those words would never cross my lips.
Yeah.
Because it would go, Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about, that's what I'm saying. When you learn this stuff about yourself, then you can learn it and use it in your favor instead of against yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is so cool.
And in your favor instead of against yourself. For those that have read my book or listened to audio and go out and check it out, The Power and the Pain, the premise of this book, like based on what happened to me in childhood, like that literally, like my experiences in childhood, I was sure the rest of the world didn't understand. If they could understand what I went through, they would understand why I can't do it. Well, now that same childhood is literally a platform that lets me in rooms that I wouldn't get in otherwise. But the childhood didn't change, only the story I told myself about it.
Yes. And I would refer to that as the gifts from your wounds.
Yep. 100%. 100%. All of us, our darkest moments, everyone out there, like, and wherever you're at in the chapter right now, like, so is life. I'm a big proponent of, we were talking in the vibe of you right now, you do not have a problem. Right now, you do not have a problem. Unless it's important for you to have a problem, and then I will believe you, and you have a problem. But in this very moment, like whatever is going on, you just have an opportunity to work with that.
Yep.
Like, so like you can be done with your problems today if you choose to. That I'm gonna pause there.
I always go one day at a time, and sometimes it's 5 minutes at a time. And that's okay.
I like that you brought that up. So in stressful times, I actually learned this from adopted it, heard it. I'm veteran military, Marine Corps, nothing to do with special forces, but adopt it from hearing some special forces training and such. But like in the highest stress moments, if you can like shrink your goal to like centimeters in front of you. Mm-hmm. I mean, like when life is within 6 inches, it's like, I just need one more breath. Okay. Just one more breath. One more step. Like, and then that one, like it reminds me like being on hikes in the military. I enjoy hiking now leisurely. I didn't enjoy it as much when it would get past 20 miles. And I mean, I remember like feeling like my feet were going to just fall off of my, like every step and excruciate. And like, all I would tell myself is like, all you have to do is just one more step. And of course, once my foot hit, all I had to do was one more step.
Exactly.
But like if I kept thinking like, all right, we only have 3 miles left, that was too much to chew at that time.
Yeah.
And because like it's almost like in the back of my mind, it was like, if you do one more step, we can choose to quit then. All right.
And you are choosing.
Let's do one
step.
more, each step, one at a time.
Yep. Yeah, you are choosing.
Yeah, I get excited about this stuff. But as you brought up, like, you know, even 5 minutes at a time, 1 minute at a time, 10 seconds at a time, 3 seconds at a time, whatever your capacity is, I would operate inside of that.
Yep. Well, what about no?
No, let's expand it.
Yeah, it's not what about.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about what about. Oh, you're kicking me. You don't want me to talk about
that. Yeah. So unconsciously.
Hey, dude, get away.
or maybe I was like, yeah, let's talk about that.
I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say?
We'll be right back. Give me a sec. Let's see. After these commercial breaks. No. Where were we at? The 5.
Let's start something new.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So, times of stress, getting focus, narrow your focus down. Go ahead, please.
I know what I was going to say. It was about these times of stress. Know that in times of stress, we will, unless we know this stuff and keep we will always go back to what didn't or what worked in the past.
Yep.
Okay, because we're so like this. So, you know, one of the things I used to do, believe it or not, where somebody would say something, I would just shrink. I wouldn't say nothing and go. And so I have to be careful not so much anymore, because that's not going to work with what I do. Right. But if I know that I'm really stressed right now and that could happen, I'm going to be aware of it and it won't happen.
Well, and for the listeners, I mean, everyone sees me every day out and about. On my journey today, like, and because I'm saying it, right. And, to this day, maybe not every single day, but almost every single day at some point in time, I feel inadequate.
Oh, well, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And like for those that know the backstory, like before that was like crippling.
Yes.
It is not conquered. I'm still conquering. It wouldn't be fair to say any different, but because I'm going on the journey, because I'm learning the tools, I just operate in the face of fear. People frequently ask me like, my wife asked me, she's like, it's like, do you not have any fear? And I'm like, no, I do, babe. I'm afraid all the time.
You got it.
I don't know all the time,
it's
but
how you respond to it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And then like sharing with you, like people could, because we can look at my journey, we can look at me and like, oh man, like I wish I could do that. You can. I'm actively on my journey.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'll have people say to me, especially clients sometimes, how'd you get this all figured out? You're always so together. I go, oh, no. Time out. Time out. There are times I'm looking at 1 or 2 steps ahead of my client so that I can guide them. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be growing till the day I pass. And there's going to be stuff that I'm going to be learning and doing.
Let's go.
So, but so many people think if you're a coach or you're a teacher, you got it all figured out. Oh, Lord, love a duck, you don't.
Not even close. You know, and I'm a big advocate of what I'm saying, what I'm sharing with the world is me talking to myself. You guys are welcome to come in this little party if you want. But this is I am, and it's almost, it's got to be similar to doing business from the inside out.
It's the same thing.
When I'm like, I am sharing with the world very blatantly, and I want some attention. So do me a favor, tell your friends to also check out this episode. Like and
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
We got it.
and what's the name of your podcast?
Business Bada Revolution.
And tell your friends to go check that podcast out and like and subscribe on that one as well.
There you go.
Okay. Back into, let's see. Now there's shameless plugs over. Back into where we're at with, we're talking about attention expansion. And let's see.
That we're not cured. We're not all healed. We're still working on it. And to expect that you're going to reach a time when got that handled.
Beautiful. Sharing, like when I'm sharing, I am sharing with the world. I want attention. I am sharing with the world. A lot of people, and I've experienced a lot of people learn information, and then they're sharing it with the world for positioning of authority.
Yeah.
Like when I say I'm talking to myself, like you're welcome to come on this journey with me. But when I say I'm talking to myself, I can't. It's hard to express high enough in words. I am literally like I have a aha moment for what I need to do, and I tell it to you guys like you're listening, so that my neurology hears me say it.
I'll tell you a funny thing about that. The other day I was working on something. And I came out with some statement and I went, now, Patricia, you know better than that. Remember what we tell our clients, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And my granddaughter, who's going to be 16 soon, says, Grandma, does that ever bother you that you have to tell yourself what you tell your clients? I said, no, I think I've got some really smart things to say and I need to listen to it.
100%.
Yeah, we're talking to ourselves all the time.
And
if we don't, we're going to regress.
I was about to say, and that's the journey.
Yeah.
That's the journey, like self-discovery, self-mastery. Like I got to discover myself. I got to talk to myself. We got to hash this thing out. Have you ever read, and if not, you know, there's a million books out there, the 1 Minute Manager by any chance? If not, no worries.
The what?
1 Minute Manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Many moons ago.
That one's an older book. Exceptional book. So listeners, check it out. Very, very small read. It's told in in a metaphor. So it's engaging. It's short. The book's real short. I won't give away too much more of the book. And by the way, I'm going to share what I extracted from the book. When you read the book, you might be like, how did you get that? Well, that's how experiences work.
Yes.
So the first time I read this book was in 2012. And I picked it up and I read maybe the preface and I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty good. And then I read the whole book and it's a short book. And the next day I went to work and I told everyone, and I truly implemented this and it really started changing things in my life. I told everyone, I said, hey, Greg's fired. I said, that guy is a hot mess. He has no clue what he's doing. Please don't even talk to him. If you need anything, let me know. I'm going to be managing him from now on.
Awesome. That is awesome. So fun.
I started looking at myself as two people. Later on, I now refer to it as like the leader and the inner child. But I started looking at myself as two people. There's this version of me that reacts. And later on, I think maybe I shouldn't have reacted that way. And then if that's true, what's the version that's thinking maybe I shouldn't have reacted that way?
Yeah, we all have parts. We all have a child and we all have an adolescent. I've got a really snarky adolescent. I love her. But anyway, we all have a child, an adolescent, an adult. Okay, so it's all and if we're not paying attention, some of that can come out and we don't even want it to.
And then, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I can be in child and go, whoops, there I go. All right, come on back on board.
And like all labels, right? Labels as in when I say that word, I mean words. So you may have used a different word to express it. And if so, trust yourself and go with that. But a label, we all have parts. We all have a higher self.
Oh, absolutely.
So we all can I'm fairly pragmatic. The way I tell people is like, I'm probably, I don't know, said by me, I'm probably the most pragmatic healer out of 3D realm. Like I'm the most, said by me, like grounded and of that. Like we have a higher self, right? So we can get spiritual, we can get, right, but like in a very pragmatic way. We all have that self that is able to say, man, I don't like that I did that. That's not the same self that's doing it.
No. It's a different, on my words, part. Yes.
And so every single one of us have access to our higher self. When you connect with your higher self and start having the conversations, don't worry about the how you have the conversations, the tool if you connect with your higher self, and again, some listeners might say, what do you mean connect with your higher self? Whenever you've evaluated yourself and you realize, man, I really don't think I should have done that, you were connected to your higher self at that moment.
And make sure that you're not confusing that with judging yourself. Because judging yourself can kick you in the butt. All right, you can be aware and see what it is. I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's not what I want to be. You don't have, too many times people go, I'm just a terrible person. I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm such a piece of what, okay? Because too easily it can slip into that.
100%. And candidly, and I love you because I'm you. At that point in time, you immediately abandon your journey and you use that as an excuse. I'm just not good enough. I always mess up.
Exactly.
And so I share that with everyone, like you are not, like it's in my world, like it's not possible that you're connected to your higher self doing the judging thing. So if you connect to your higher self and you go into the judging thing, so what? Because Greg said you didn't have a problem. So the opportunity is if that happens, oh shit, I'm afraid of my higher self. I run from it and I judge myself because remember I said a moment ago, that's in a way to abandon your journey. It's an approach to abandoning your journey.
But when you have the awareness that that's what you're doing, you can then re-choose.
Yeah.
I think awareness is everything.
Yeah.
Well, as you would say, as in my opinion.
Yeah. I do my best to quantify because the truth is like, I was talking to someone the other day, like nothing about any of us said by me, nothing about any of us is original. We're a compilation of the books we met, the books we read, the people we met, the experiences we had. Nothing. We are all insanely unique, but original we are not.
Oh, no.
And then, so if that's so, like all the modalities out there in the world are the right modalities. Like all of our words, well, and Pat, you know this, hypnotherapy. So, and I don't use the word hypnosis. I don't talk about it much, but I'm also a master certified in hypnosis. Our words program and condition. This is how hypnosis works. So everything that we're speaking to ourselves or everything that we're listening in, talking about Xander earlier, we are programming. So
yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Good.
No. I'm listening. You go. I'm
Okay.
I'm learning here. I'm going, yes.
Let's go. Yeah, I get excited. I told you guys you're in for a double dose today. Let's see. Give me a sec here.
Well, while you're doing that, I gave a short talk the other day about using what we're telling ourselves, what we're telling other people. So be careful of things like contractions, don't, won't, shouldn't. Well, I'm going to go on this podcast with Greg today, and I won't be nervous. What am I going to be? Nervous, because the mind doesn't pick up on. With the hypnosis you have, that's where I learned where every individual word is important. Forget contractions. Okay, always tell people what you want them to do, not what you don't want them to do. See, I just used don't, so I'm going to have to fix that one.
Well, and like we're trauma and transformation here, but like let me just drop it. Don't is an exceptionally good thing to do in marketing.
Oh, sure.
Because don't think about the purple elephant right now. Well,
and the other thing, when we go bowling next time, Greg, I promise I won't tell you not to miss that shot. Don't miss the shot.
Yeah.
So there's times to. One of mine is being an entrepreneur shouldn't suck. And one of my clients said to me, "We caught you. You use now they're going to think they suck." I said, "They do until they take my course. What can I tell you?"
I love it.
It's a way to use it too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And when you I use it terms like towards in a way.
Yeah.
when we focus on that which we're looking to get towards, so here, check this out. Here's my little, I haven't shared this metaphor in a couple years, but it's a metaphor I share. I think most of us could agree. Well, I'll ask, would you agree? Nothing created by humans was created before thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we'd all probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take us a step further. So, if creation exists through humans, thought came first. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Has to.
Okay. Now, if a thought happens, is it guaranteed to be creation? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. So now, but stay with me because I'm gonna bring us somewhere, right? So if we have creation, if we have creation, we have guaranteed thought.
Absolutely.
Okay. If we have thought, we do not have guaranteed creation. All right, good. And I'm in agreement. I think everyone else kind of has to be in agreement. Okay. Now, so if it's a thought, it could be creation, but it not guaranteed to be creation.
I agree.
Okay. But everything that we do experience as creation must have come from thought.
Absolutely.
So if you were to only, there's a hypnosis
there
word.
There we go.
If you were to only think about the things that you desired to happen in your life, pause. We said nothing could be in creation before thought. Just because you think it. So if you think that you want 10 things in the future and those are the only thoughts you hold, there is no guarantee that you will get all 10. But I'm almost questionably going to say there's a guarantee you don't get anything else because you're not thinking about anything else. So instead of getting all 10, I didn't get all 10. I only got 8 things that I wanted and nothing that I didn't want. Oh, rough life.
Yeah. I'm crying for you.
So when we think about, when our words and when we're conscious about like, hey, where we are going, and I say if because I am not even remotely close to that yet, and I do focus on it. If we get to a place where we could only think about what we're creating in the future, then I think only our future creations could come into our reality.
That's
like,
interesting.
in theory, then we don't have the potential of all the negative experiences that we're manifesting right now. In theory.
No, I hear you. I get it. Where my mind went with that, Greg, was, and then we have these things called feelings coming in. And that can sometimes distort it. But what give me one more.
Tear it up. This is going to be good. Tear it up.
So someone will say to me, but I feel that's bad, or I feel bad. And I said, what's the thought you had right before that feeling came in? Because your thoughts also create your feelings. So you could tell me I'm the worst person in the world, and I could be devastated because the thought was, Greg thinks, and so it makes me feel bad. Or I could be, he's full of it. So your thought creates your feeling.
Thank you for saying hold up. Like I almost jumped out of my skin. I wanted to jump out and say, well, but the thought creates the emotion. Okay. So let me share this. So the thought creates the emotion. We are not aware that the thought creates the emotion. If you would just trust us on that one. Okay. All right. So if you're trusting us there, I said, if you focus on what you desire,
yes,
right? And I'm using the word if very consciously here. I'm going to suggest, if you ask me, you say, Greg, what is desire? Desire is what I want. For that which you want, you feel good. I don't think you feel bad for that which you desire.
I agree. I just took another hole. I'm not going to take us down the other rabbit hole. I agree. So
I say that to say to highlight for listeners. Your thoughts are immediately, like in a flash of a nanosecond, creating emotions. Controlling emotions it is a journey, very possible. Emotion intelligent, not only possible, capable, it's powerful, it's incredible. But listen, I'm giving you a shortcut. I'm giving you, like, you want to talk about like a cheat code here. if you control your thoughts, the byproduct is your emotions controlled.
Yes. So you can change how you feel by thinking differently.
Let's go. Let's go. And think about this, right? Let's go back a step, because my goal is to tie this together to anchor the living shit out of it. So if you change your thoughts, you can change the way you feel. Pat just said, it's almost as if I changed the way I thought about my childhood.
Sure. So let's go back to the beginning of our conversation. Our wounds, our trauma, were actually gifts. Let's look for the gifts in them.
I think it's it might even be on the cover, like our darkest moments, whatever that may be for you, it's all relative. So if you had light your entire life, well, the moment that had the least amount of light, the least brightest light, our darkest moments hold our greatest gifts every single time. Mm-hmm. Every single time. That's where we're being formed, forged. The pressure creating the diamonds. Mm-hmm. Our easy chapters are when we were drifting.
Yeah, but look where that got us.
Man, drifting. Our mind is like, I am pretty aggressively on my journey. And I only drift every day. Like multiple times throughout the day. I tell people, like, the hardest thing you will ever do, I am nowhere near close to it. The hardest thing you will ever do is control your mind.
Oh, Lord love a duck. Yeah. I mean, I can go off. Yes.
It's the hardest journey and the most rewarding. Now, when I say the hardest also, let me offer, like, I'm installing. It's going to be hard. Yeah, I don't want to make it easy because, yeah, you're strong enough. If I asked you, like, if those listening right now, if you were in front of me and I say, tell me what we talked about 2 minutes ago. If I asked you, like, right now while I'm talking, what are you thinking about right now? You would actually have to check in right now. Listeners, do it. What thought did you have? It's just firing down. And the truth is, if we were to become completely conscious of our thoughts, I don't know, because I haven't got there yet. If we were to become completely conscious of our thoughts, I think we would have to not operate in the 3D world. We'd have to be like a monk or something, because all of our bandwidth would be occupied. Tell me something.
You just took me back to when I was in the convent.
Convent?
Convent as in becoming a nun.
Oh, I didn't even know that word. Forgive me.
That's all right. There's no reason why you should. It's not quite that. It's not quite like that, because the thoughts are just different and not necessarily, I don't think they're any more controllable.
That's a fair, that is a very valid point. Ultimately, they have given up control of all the thoughts and became a witness.
Oh, shit, Sherlock. Yep.
Yeah, they became a witness.
Yeah.
Which I mean, play on words here. Then we could say, oh, I think it's amazing. Yeah. Play on words here. We could say, well, they're controlling, but yeah, like to operate in that nature, by the way, like I think it's a beautiful thing. Like I've considered it, and then I'm like, no, I'm sure it's not my life right now.
Yeah. I considered it for about 9 months. And then the day I slid down the banister and the Mother General was standing at the bottom going like this, telling me that God would be disappointed in me, we kind of all agreed it was time for me to go.
We kind of all agreed. It was a mutual thing, We had cookies, and then that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. So the realization is like something I want to highlight. If you're going to continue on your journey, you have to know that you have not finished your journey in like any of the areas.
Oh God, yeah, because I'm not going to go looking for my watch if I haven't lost it.
And I say that to say, like, for anyone listening, I'm included, right? Anyone listening, excluding the monks, you shouldn't be listening on these electronic devices. Excluding. You're in trouble. You're not a real monk. You're listening. I'm kidding. I don't even know the rules or anything like that. But for everyone listening, if you're not living a monk-esque life, it's a cool story. You're with me. We got more to go.
There you go.
We got work left.
Oh, all the time.
I'm not saying that monks don't, but I think they do pretty damn good with their stuff.
Listen, it's just not for me. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the old different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. That was kind of the vibe we're talking about. Yeah, somewhere that just triggered my brain, that like all the different modalities and labels and way we talk about it. I'm a big advocate of stop talking to not your people. But like also like the idea that like with love, if you will, that like they are not wrong.
Well, they're not wrong. They're just not for me.
They're just not for, and then it's like, it's almost like, not almost, it's literally like if we do anything other than escape their proximity or set a boundary, if we do anything other than that, because we'll try to like, oh, you shouldn't do it this way, or no, that's wrong. Or, we try to convict people of our beliefs. And like a second spent with them is 1 second like not allowing yourself to continue on your journey. Like if you believe, like I believe I'm right, okay, and I believe that all the modalities are right, so that's why I believe you should go where you go. Okay, if you believe that you're right, I believe I'm right. If you believe that, then how can you not believe that they believe that? So if that modality or that language doesn't fit, like there's so much love is like, I got to get away because I might be the wrong one here, but I want to stay on my path.
But see, I'm tearing the studio apart now.
Pat, this is awesome.
I'm excited now because here's the thing. We started off this conversation by me saying, we do exactly the same thing. You're more intellectual, I'm more inward. So when I come across now that I can only take a client I can only take so far, or someone that I know is not going to buy into my woo.
The woo. I love it. Woo. That was the word. Yeah. Good.
I'm going to say, there's this guy you need to talk to, and he can explain all this stuff to you. I'm going to send him to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we need to know about all these modalities without judgment. I mean, we could be sitting here having fisticuffs as much as, you know what I mean, just because we both wanted to be
decide
right.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But to me, it's an opening. Human beings need each other. Human beings thrive on collaboration when you use it to the advantage of everyone involved. So this person that I know, secrets. I can't help because they're not going to get me. And I'm not really going to get them. I'm going to go send them to you, who's going to be able to give them all the research and all the logic behind it. That I just think it's a way to bring us together.
Yeah.
And so many times, you're wrong, Greg. I'm not. You're wrong. Am I ever going to send that person to you if I think you're wrong?
Right.
Anyway, I can get excited about
Let's
that.
go. I love it. I love it.
It's just like, oh no, there's a use for everything. You just can't. I'm a big on what's the judgment, people. Okay.
I'm a judger. Good.
Yeah. Oh, well, we could have some fun then. But the judgment stops the communication. It stops the collaboration. Not only that, it stops your growth.
Yeah. Let's dive. Can we dive into judgment for a second? Because I got a few gold stars for judging. My chartboard looks good. So I'm. I think fairly aware that I judge people, because I had this, like, I don't even know where it landed, but the journey, the way things go, I had this realization somewhere probably about 2-3 years ago. Like, so earlier I said, every day I feel inadequate. Why do I feel inadequate? Well, because I feel judged. I had a realization a couple years ago that, and this is my belief, right? To the level which you feel judged is the equivalent exposure at which you are judging others. If I think capitalism is bad, then anything I do in which I try to attract money or warrant money for, I will feel like people are judging me for asking for money. So at the level we judge is the level we feel judged. So I have, in the last couple of years of my life, like I have aggressively focused, and like when there's times in my life, like seasons, there are times where I get so like, I feel like I could walk on stage butt naked, maybe with a leaf for everyone else's safety, protect, so they don't have to get that image. But I feel like just why, and in those moments, like I also now think to myself, only a couple of years ago, I'd like to say discovery, like I feel so good in those moments when I don't feel judged. Cause I'm like, everyone's allowed to be who they are right now. When I notice now in my life, and I'm sharing this for whoever else, the person that needs to hear it. When I feel inadequate, I'm like, oh, that means we're judging.
I'm going to have to sit with that and cogitate. I'm following you. I'm just not processing fast enough.
How do you feel about perception as projection? Like I can only see outside. When I share with the world, I'm talking to myself. I can only talk to the world about what's inside of me, actually.
Oh, I get, yeah.
Only.
Okay. Yeah.
So like perception is projection, like, for example, and like picking on this lady a little bit, shame of me. The lady that posted and said, are we looking for attention? The thought crossed my mind to put something different that said, yes, you are. Perception is projection. Every word we speak came from inside. Okay, so if perception is projection, then whatever if I feel that people are projecting judgment on me, it is only in existence because of my perception of judging others. And like I didn't arrive from, again, I didn't read that in a book. Like I was like, hey, I think this, and I started like just letting and in my mind, everything's not okay. I don't accept everyone. I don't need to judge them.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. There's a difference between.
Everyone's not coming to my house for dinner, at all.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
You want to come to my house for dinner?
Well, I haven't been invited, so I figured I was.
Let's go. You're like. I thought I wasn't even friends. Let's go, Pat. Definitely.
No, I love the point you made about I can not accept you but not judge you.
100%.
It's two entirely different things. Acceptance for me is what I allow in my life.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
But that doesn't mean I'm judging you.
Not at all. I do judge me, but go ahead. No, I do. I know because I have to be aware of it. If I think I don't, I will shut down my ability to actually stay conscious of that action.
No, I get it. I agree.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love it. Yeah, I mean, as I've went through, accept. It's not acceptance. It's not toleration.
No,
it's not acceptance. Like you're allowed to have boundaries. But the thing is, like, and what I do in my world is I literally think about, like, there's things that I've done in my life that hopefully I'll never relive in any way, and they'll just go on to the grave with me, okay? And then I think about those things, and I'm like, ooh, if the whole world saw me in that moment, ooh, okay? And then when I think about that, and I think about why are they doing or what is wrong with them? And I'm like, that was my moment. You can't be around me, but like, dude, I get it. I've been there. Judgment goes away. Like you can't come around. You can't do whatever. Boundary. No. Please tear it up.
Exactly. And again, it's I've had trouble, and this is helping me, by the way, thank you, is discerning for some clients the difference between not accepting and judging. It's an entirely different ballgame. So thank you. That helps.
I catch another thing that when I feel inadequate, for me personally, again, this was an experience, not like a book or something. When I feel inadequacy, I'm like, you must be judging others, because like the only way I can feel that is like a judgment in some way. And even if I'm judging myself, that's in theory, I'm judging others.
And I'm not getting that. I'm not saying I disagree. I haven't experienced that. And so that's why I'm just listening and not saying much.
Most people don't. I think I'm going to make it. Our judgments are as unconscious as our programs.
Okay, yeah.
So like we have like the childhood archetype thing. We won't get too deep there, but one of those, like what you talked about, like something is cut off, and it's cut off because like I give examples of I grew up so trauma, ran away, detention center, military. All right, we got it. So fairly disciplined life, a little bit hardcore, if we will. So like when I grew up, like this is no exaggeration. This is like literal. It's not like literal. It's literal. I would be 18 years old in the military, 19 years old. And like people are like, oh man, you ever had a croissant? I'm like, what the hell is that? And like people, oh, look at this, so fluffy and stuff. And I'd be like, oh, dude, what is that? Like, you're a girl. Like, what? All kind, like, name call. Like, you eat bread. I mean, like, the way I grew, but I was so like, I was very sure that, like, I was very sure of myself. Things like, and when I say like, I mean very literally when I say these are literal examples. The idea of, like, using a battery-operated toothbrush, that equaled laziness. I don't
wow.
And it's,
wow,
I'm
okay.
dead serious. And like a cast judgment, like you're lazy. But to me, you wouldn't have convinced me I was judging someone because no, that's lazy. It's not a judgment. Most of us have no clue when we're judging because it's a fact to us.
Yeah. I can see that. I get it.
And it's oblivious because it's a fact. I'm not judging them. They're lazy. That's not a judgment. Okay. I now have, like, this is an example I share with people. Like on the way here, I stop and got 2 croissants. I do it every Friday. On the way here. Like, I love croissants now. And, like, I'm pretty much not eating anything else with my breakfast sandwich. I have a battery-operated toothbrush. I literally, been using it for a couple of years. Like, a month, 2 months ago, I turned it on. Oh, it needs to be charged. Okay. I'm sitting there like my arm's getting tired and I'm like, but I'm thinking to myself, the first time in my life I realized I am nowhere, like I'm not even remotely close to the level of efficiency that this thing was doing at 10,000 revolutions per minute or whatever it does. I'm not even close to whoa, I thought they were lazy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
A lot of us, and by the way, when I say a lot of us, like I'm a lot of us. we think we don't judge because we think that, like, well, that's not a judgment. That's just like I'm just being honest. I'm just calling a spade a spade. You're calling your spade their spade, but exactly. To them that's a heart. Go ahead, please.
Exactly. No, I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah. I'm just agreeing with you.
The journey. It's a weird journey. It's hard to quantify.
Oh, I'm not even trying. We just live in it. Just live in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my brain gets tired.
I laugh because, like, I'm like a week younger than Pat, so
Lord,
2 weeks, whatever. So
you're young enough to be my grandson, but we don't have to talk about that.
Pat, by the way, like I speak so highly of you behind your back. Like I hope I'm as fierce and fiery as you are when I get there. Like I hope so.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. So I do like Pat had just expressed, like I'm living it, and like Pat is. I'm like relentlessly, and as I get a little more wise, I may discover more, but like I relentlessly try to quantify our journey. And I started laughing because you said, oh, it would make my brain hurt. Oh, this thing is like, but I will say, my belief is in the last like 5-10 years of my life, like I know it's an opinion, but in my opinion, I know I have greatly increased my neuroplasticity because of it, which has been incredible.
And there's the difference in our wiring. It keeps coming up. We're doing the same thing. We're just wired differently. So you quantify and I just live it.
Yeah.
And that's
Beautiful.
a great separation. A lot of the work that I do, I just do. I just know. Okay. It's been fun being acquainted with you because you'll give me some of the statistical stuff that I don't really care about. However,
It benefits what you're doing.
benefits
The journey.
because it benefits my clients. I have clients that want to know that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, if it works and I'm using it, I don't worry about all that stuff. And it sounds irresponsible. It's not.
No. Yeah, we can talk about that in a minute, but keep going.
But the thing is we're doing exactly the same thing from two different places. And that's how we can begin to understand with others. We're just coming from a different place. You're not ever going to do the woo. I'm never going to go into deep research like you do, but it doesn't mean we can't use that from each other.
Hey, if you guys are listening now, Pat, me, 100% we're unique. But if you ever work with me one-on-one, we're gonna woo. I promise.
No, I understand that, but
really
it's a word that people
unique.
understand when you don't have all the research and stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk about. So you had shared. You said it sounds irresponsible, and we all rejected that. Here's the thing.
Thank you for catching that. Okay,
that's already where it's gone.
Yeah.
And I want to highlight to everyone, like, so Pat is, we haven't got as much into, like, when we talk about woo. I like that word, by the way. I use that word. Pat is what I would say, because, like, when clients work with me, like, I'm not as consumer facing with the woo, but the only thing we're doing behind the closed doors is woo.
I get it.
Okay. I'm going to suggest, and then dive in, a big differentiator is Pat is, like, I would even go as far as to use, I don't know how you feel about the word clairvoyant, but that's go as far as, but very, very intuitive. For a person to be intuitive, this is my suggestion. I'm about to pass this off to you. I want to hear your feedback. For a person to be intuitive, it is imperative that you trust yourself.
Oh my God.
Is imperative. I heard a philosopher one time was sharing, and this was, like, very profound to me and goes along with this. He said, historically speaking, cannot deviate, veto, or adjust theologically speaking. So if I say Jesus died 33 AD, and if you believe he died 34 AD, history cannot change your belief. Beliefs do not require scientific evidence, or they be facts. And so the philosopher said, and then he said, for that to be true, theology also cannot veto or alter history. So both just stand as facts, even if they look contradictory. So, like, tying this back to you, Pat, like, I don't worry about the why, and I'm going to say that's a beautiful thing, because if you worried about the why, you might find information that contradict it, but they can stand next to each other, contradicting, and both as truths, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, take us in.
No. I can only say I agree with you. I think you're right. There you go. All right, there's a judgment. Greg is right, but no, you brought up that it's the whole trust thing, and again, there are opinions out there about that, but I know for a fact when I hear it, when I get it, it's just as factual. It's just as grounded in reality as a study that you can bring me showing it.
100%. And that's the thing, like, for all the listeners, this has been an incredible episode. For all the listeners, like, for the people that will line up and say, "Oh, you think you just know it?" then they'll have to come see me.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And then for the people that come to me and they're like, "I don't care what the book says, just do the thing." Go see Pat.
Exactly. Wouldn't it be fun sometime? Wouldn't it be fun sometime if we would run into someone that was willing to work with both of us from both angles?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's going to happen, by the way.
Yeah. This has been good. I'm just going to let this cook for a minute and see what pops up.
Okay.
Something popped up. Let me take a sip here. what popped up is, like, as I said, well, I'll just let this sit for a minute, let's cook. I just thought, like, I feel called to share the message of, like, be comfortable not knowing, be comfortable not having the answer, be comfortable being quiet.
Be comfortable becoming uncomfortable.
There's a side effect, though. You'll start going really fast if you do
And
that.
the one I'm still really working on is be comfortable not being able to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, elaborate on it a little bit.
One more time, okay.
Elaborate on that a little bit. Become not figuring it, not having it figured out.
For the most part, human beings want comfort. They don't like being uncomfortable. And if you're going to do this work, my opinion again is you're going to be uncomfortable or you're not really doing it at times. So as soon as you can get comfortable going, oh, well, there it is again. Let's see how uncomfortable I can get this time. The further you're going to go. It's okay to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be upskittled. Doesn't mean you have to pitch your tent there. But if you can be comfortable with it while you're there, you've taken away a lot of the angst and a lot of the work.
Yeah. We're giving it the meaning. And we're allowed to be uncomfortable. Yeah, Xander, people all the time, like like if you try to create content, you're going to become a slave to it. So just live your life and document. With that being said, last night, Xander going to bed, he had trying to think of the words to describe. He had an emotional evening for no good reason. Okay. And nothing major. Yes. Yeah. Like nothing that would like outwardly that, that we'd anchor. Here's what happened. Like life happened. Yeah. So when he went to bed, I went in at some point and I said goodnight to him, and he's just laying. He had all his blankets. He had his big furry little onesie night piece on, but all his blankets were on the floor, and he's just laying in bed. So like, and I went and I said, how you doing? Good night, buddy. Da 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 da. And he said, Dad. I said, what? He said, I feel sad. And I said, I thought for a minute, I was like, good night. Love you. No. So I said, I thought for a moment and I was like, well, what would I do or what would I say to someone? And then I knew immediately what I would say. I was like, all right, now I got to share with him. And I said, buddy, I said, you may be ready to not be sad. And if you are, then you can let go. I said, but only when you're ready. I said, it's okay to be sad. And I reminded him, like it was a couple days earlier, he actually saw me crying in the living room. And I know that he saw me. And in that moment, like, my ego was like, oh, don't let him see you. And then I was like, no, he should see this. And I didn't say anything to him. And this was like a week or two ago. And he's like, Dad, he's like, he didn't say anything. It was just probably a little bit uncomfortable for him. A little bit later, I cleaned up, and we're not talking like a big, I just thinking about some things. And so it was a little bit later, and he said, Dad, he said, why did it look like you were crying? And I said, it's like 2 weeks ago. And I said, because I was crying, buddy. And he said, why? And I said, I was sad. And he didn't ask any other questions, and that was it. So last night I said, do you remember the other day Daddy was sad? And he said, yeah. And I said, Daddy even cried. And he said, yeah. And I said, it's okay to be sad. And you're allowed to actually enjoy this moment. And I said, I'll talk to you in the morning. I said, think about this. I said, for me, when I get done feeling sad, I always feel even better.
Yes.
Let me know how you feel. So that's where we left him off. And again, just going just live life, document. This is just what happened. It popped in my mind. But going back to the idea, we're allowed to be uncomfortable.
It's okay. That's just as much a part of the learning as the comfortable parts. If we were never uncomfortable, we'd miss out on learning some things.
Yeah. A lot. Pat, we gotta, we don't have to do anything, but I believe
But we're gonna.
I believe we're gonna
Okay.
get together another episode and just riff and let it flow as it does.
We got it.
In a moment, I'll ask you if you have anything last you want to share with the audience. My audience is the catch line for us is trauma into triumph. It's about the power and the pain, the gift and the dark moments. So that's the audience most likely listening. In a moment, I'll ask if you have anything last that you want to share with them, and then we'll definitely bring Pat on again. For those of you on your journey, by the way, it's all of you listening because you listened. That's why I make that projection. For those of you on your journey, stop talking to not your people. Trust yourself. Don't worry about everyone that says it wrong. Just worry about your person because they say it right just for you. Just keep looking. You can't miss them. Make sure you do like, subscribe, share the episode with a friend so they can extract value from it. I'm going to leave it with you, Pat, to send us home with your last words.
Please, please, please learn and accept and learn to trust yourself. That is the most, from my place, that is the most enabling thing you can do for yourself, is to listen to you and trust. That trust will take you a long way because most of the time you're right on.
Let's go. We'll see you guys next week.
If this hit you deep, trust that.
Your pain has power, and your story isn't over.
Follow, share, and send this to someone who you think might benefit.
I'm Greg, and this was The Power in the Pain. Keep stepping into your power.